Good morning, and thank you for joining Lola and I on our Let's Walk About It journey this morning. Today I woke up and a word that popped into my head was pull yourself together. And I was remembering my childhood. I was remembering something that I used to hear a lot when I was a kid, and my parents both at certain times would say, "Ian, pull yourself together." Sort yourself out was another phrase I heard. Sometimes I heard the word, "You're being selfish," always thinking about yourself. And in truth, I probably was, and they were correct. But what my parents never taught me, and what teachers didn't teach me, who also said things like pull yourself together, sort yourself out, behave yourself, they never taught me what a self is. What is a self? Now, I'm going to be 62 in a couple of months' time, and I think now I know what myself is. I'm pretty sure of myself. I know myself. I've pulled myself together, but I don't call it a self. I call it my true nature. I'm Ian Banyard. I'm a wellbeing author. I'm a natural mindfulness guide, and I train other guides to guide people to a deeper and closer connection with nature. And I set up Nature Connection World, which is an online global platform for people who share my passion for expanding, evolving, growing nature consciousness in the world. Thank you for joining this Let's Walk About It walk, which I've called myself. And as I'm walking, I thought I'd contemplate, because this is how these walks work in the morning. While Lola is busying herself, tapping into her senses, breathing deeply, and getting into the present moment, I thought I would contemplate mindfully subjects. And the subject that I want to contemplate now is this idea of self, and share how I have pulled myself together and sorted myself out. So as a child, I had no idea what a self was. I had a habit when people asked me if I understood things to just nod and say yes, even when I didn't. And I didn't understand what a self was. I understood the pain and the embarrassment of being called selfish. I understood how I felt when I was being told to sort myself out. I was usually having a meltdown. I was usually getting very upset about something. Felt I wasn't being understood, felt I wasn't being listened to, and fell apart, I guess. Now, a statistic I heard yesterday, which is probably what set me on this path of thinking about self, was that it's thought that 1 in 20 people in the UK are or have the condition of attention defecit disorder. I think I had it as a child, but I wasn't very hyperactive. And as some of you may know, there's also ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And as a result of the hyperactive part being on that diagnosis, I'm always suspicious of diagnosis because there's usually a set of tests, and I don't know who created the tests, so I don't know how to pass a test or fail a test that I don't understand, and I didn't have any sense of creating. So I know there was a test for it, and I remember there being tests for attention deficit hyperactive disorder a few decades ago. Never really considered I might have had that because I wasn't hyperactive, but I did have trouble focusing. I did have trouble connecting, and I've been reading recently a book called Scattered Minds by Gabor Mate, who has been or was diagnosed with ADD, attention deficit disorder, in his 50s. And I've come across quite a lot of people who are in their 50s and older as well, who have also now, as adults, been diagnosed with attention deficit disorder. Not necessarily the hyperactive bit. In fact, more boys were being diagnosed with ADHD than girls, because it tended to be boys that were hyperactive. I wasn't a hyperactive boy. I couldn't sit still, but I learnt to control myself because I didn't want to upset people, and I learnt to mask it. And I think that's what girls, or that's what the research is showing, that girls do. Girls mask this as well. And Gabor Mate believes that attention deficit disorder comes from childhood trauma, where the child disconnects from the traumatic experience in the environment that it's living in, and disconnects, and that the solution is to create environments that allow these children and adults to reconnect themselves, the self. Because again, as I said, as a child, I didn't know what a self was. I didn't know what my true nature was. I knew that there were parts of me that others regarded as good. That's Ian being a good boy. And other parts, that's Ian being a bad boy. That's Ian doing the right thing. That's Ian doing the wrong thing. So there was a part of me that was bad and wrong, and there was a part of me that was good and right. And life is very much about encouraging and embracing the things and the us we're being when others regard us as good and right. But then we end up suppressing and neglecting the parts of us that we consider to be bad, or we think is bad and we think is wrong, because other people have taught us that. And I think maybe, certainly in my experience, where I've struggled in life and I've had my meltdowns and I've had my outbursts, I've needed to pull myself together and sort myself out. Those times have usually been because there's a part of me that is being rejected, is being ignored, is not being listened to. And it's getting to the point where it's so powerful within me that it's like it's going to burst out. It's an outburst. My dad used to say, I'm going to blow my top. If you don't leave me alone, if I don't get out. And my dad used to get out and he'd go off into nature. Interestingly, I do the same. I find that when I'm overwhelmed, when I'm overly emotional, when I can't solve the logical problems of the world because I'm too emotional, or I'm too upset, I'm out of sorts, then I go off into nature to calm myself down, to connect with what I'm certain about, get some stability back, pull the parts of me back together. And what I notice is there's a lot of other people that I'm meeting that have a strong affinity for nature, have a strong connection with nature, get most benefit from nature. Often those people also have some trait around disassociation from the busy life, the society we live in, that have disconnected from parts of themselves that can't cope very well in the way we live today. And I am starting to realize that maybe a deeper connection with nature may well lead us to a deeper connection to our true nature, our true self, and help people who have struggled in their earlier life become disconnected from their self, need to pull themselves together, need to sort themselves out, need to be okay about being selfish, need to be okay about being self-conscious, because that's another thing. That word self-consciousness is seen as a negative thing, and I can't understand that. Why is being conscious of yourself regarded as a negative thing? Why is selfish regarded as a negative thing? Maybe we should say self-full, like we say mindful. We don't see mindful as a negative thing. A mind is full of itself. By being full of yourself, maybe you are more connected to yourself, and therefore by being more selfish you can actually become more selfless. But if you're never connected to yourself, if you never value yourself, how then can you value the self in others? So I'm going to continue probably with this theme, because I've talked about fulfillment in the past, and this idea of understanding myself, pulling myself together, is wholesome, which is again like being fulfilled, being filled up, is very like being whole. And I also heard, listening to Gabor Mate's book about scattered minds, that he was saying that the word whole, linked to holistic, wholesome, being whole, being pulled together, being one with yourself, comes from the same source as the word heal. So if we need to heal childhood trauma, if we need to heal life trauma, becoming more whole, becoming more true to ourself, to our nature, could very well be the antidote. If you're still with me, if you're still watching this, thank you. If you've been watching my other videos, thank you as well. Please like them, share them, subscribe to my channel as well, because it helps the algorithm in YouTube share these videos with people who could benefit from seeing these videos. I see lots of cat videos, and I see lots of animals doing funny things videos, and dancing children videos going viral and going all around the world, and they're fun and they're great, and they probably make people feel good, which is why there's so many of them. They probably feel good to make them and feel good to watch them as well. So I'd like these videos to go viral just for the people that they can help, or they may help. So if you'd like to help me with that, please like, subscribe and share it with other people as well, and see if we can send ripples of nature consciousness out around the world and bring more people to a better sense of self too. So enjoy your day today. Let me know what you think of the video. Comment below it. Send me messages if you'd like to. If you've got ideas of what you'd like me to cover on Let's Walk About It walks, let me know that too. If you'd like to appear on a Let's Walk About It walk, I'm pulling together some people locally to me here in the Gloucestershire Cotswolds. So if you live in and around the Gloucestershire Cotswolds and you want to come on a walk with me and maybe make a little video and share some of our contemplations with a larger audience, then get in touch with me, let me know. And if you're doing something around nature connection and well-being, that's even better, because I can help you share those links with other people as well. So we can get what you're doing out there to a larger audience too. So I would appreciate and be grateful if you get in touch, and maybe we could set something like that up. So enjoy your day, have fun, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.